Okay, we're going to go live on Facebook. So excited. All right, being real life.
Sweet.
Okay, we are live on Facebook. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode number 8 of the Blossoming into You series. I'm your host, Miko Lau. And on today's episode, we are going to be diving deep into talking about how to be fully empowered as a sexual being. So, whatever that looks like, you get to find out on our conversation together. And with me on here as my guest, we have Courtney, who's located in Nevada, and Courtney is 22 years old. And I'm so excited and so honored to have her on here today to talk about this juicy topic. Courtney, welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So, just a little background to the audience, our audience listening, tuning in right now. I connected with Courtney. This is our first time, very first time really chatting on Zoom. But we connected because we are both doing the same sex, love, and relationships coaching certification program together with Layla. And just really, I think this is a powerful and very important topic to talk about because there's not enough safe space out there for women, like especially blossoming women at this age, like to really feel okay and safe to discover and explore sexuality as a sexual being, which we all are. We all are. So thank you, Courtney, for being courageous and powerful and being willing to be on here today to talk about this.
Thank you.
So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit more about you. What do you feel called to share right now as we're speaking?
Yeah, so I recently graduated from University of Nevada, Reno with a psychology degree with a specialty in substance use counseling. And it just it never felt right to me. The idea of getting my master's and going on, I wanted to do sex therapy for a while now, but the road to get there just didn't feel right to me. And that's when I found Layla and this whole program, and it just really spoke to me. I have always been really passionate about sexual education, sexual health, women's health, LGBTQ health, um, you know, BIPOC health, and yeah, I've just been feeling very like I can't get it right almost. Like we talked about perfectionism in a class yesterday, and I have been experiencing like the worst imposter syndrome when it comes to this entire thing. Like you said, I'm 22, I'm really young. I just graduated. So many of the other people in our program have, successful long-term careers in coaching or, teaching yoga, so many other incredible things. And they're all business owners or have some type of financial stability. And for me, I'm waiting tables right now. I had to take out a loan for this, and I don't really have anywhere else to go if this doesn't work out. And it's been a lot of pressure.
I love everything that you're sharing, Courtney. And I just want to let you know that I 100% feel you. Like, I'm looking at you and I'm just thinking of myself just 3 years ago when I was 22, because that's exactly my journey. I graduated from college too with a psychology degree. And then, like, I also felt that there was no way I would want to pursue graduate school or continue down that path of being finding a job. It just didn't feel right for me. And I think it's also so beautiful that you're opening up this conversation for us to look at, like, that we have this story that we tell ourselves that it gets to look a certain way, that it has to be right, even though in this space of like sexuality, there's no right answer to this, and no age like boundaries to that as well. But somehow you feel this, like, imposter syndrome of, okay, maybe I'm too young for this. And that's like the deeply ingrained ideas that we are conditioned to believe in, that there's even a right age or right timing or right way to do sexuality, which I think is so interesting. So what have you been continuing to discover, like as you get to know yourself on an intimate level like this, like as these things continue to show up for you?
I A lot of it just has to do with, just because I'm young, I had the unique opportunity when I was younger, to really explore myself. I
Mhm.
grew up in a really conservative home, like traditionally Christian home, and sex and sexuality wasn't allowed. So it was repressed for so long. And I feel like I've just stepped into this whole new world where I can explore myself and I can help other people to explore themselves in a really healthy, beautiful, integrated way. And I guess what I've been starting to notice is a lot of the people in our program too, like they feel that same way. Even though they're older, they've also been repressed for most of their lives, due to where they live, their culture, just religion, even. And I don't know, I feel like we're all in the same boat, but there's still this disconnect almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I totally feel it. I mean, like even now to put this show together and to bring on women like yourself to come and talk about topics like sex and being so open about this, like even there's even a part of me that feels like, should I really do this? Like, should I really be seen in the public talking about sex? And I'm gonna, I did a video about my dildo that just came in the mail today. Like, there's still a part of me that holds back and be like, Miko, what are you doing? But then at the same time, I think it's very exciting as well. Like I feel like deep down we all have this desire to be able to fully express ourselves in this way without holding back. Like being so liberated to express ourselves sexually and with our bodies, like physically taking up space, and there's a deep sense of freedom in that. And I want to say again, thank you for being here with me and having this conversation. And if you're willing to share with us, like dive deeper into what it was like to grow up in a more conservative household, because I'm sure a lot of people that are tuning in, they can probably resonate with it. I know I can. Yeah.
Yeah, so both of my parents are traditional Christian. I think technically they're Lutheran. I never really did a whole lot of research into like the different kinds. We just considered ourselves Christian. But my mom grew up in a home where she was not allowed to be a sexual woman, even outside of religion. And before she, found Christianity, all of that. And so when I was growing up, sex wasn't ever talked about. I knew that it was bad. You go to hell if you do it, unless you're married. My parents were pretty cool when it came to LGBTQ stuff, but for the most part, it was like sex is usually between a man and a woman. Like sex is related to penetration.
Mm.
And, I am a queer identifying woman. That's my sexual orientation is queer. And that was just hard enough. And then I started to deviate when I was like 12, 13, 14. I lost my virginity. I hate using that word, but when I was 14 or 15. And when my parents found out, it was insane. My sex talk was a couple of books that my parents gave to me. One of them, I remember them so vividly, was The Body Book. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
No.
And then the one my dad gave to me was Boys Will Put You on a Pedestal So They Can Look Up Your Skirt.
Mm.
Like that was my sexual education up until that point. And then when I became sexually active, my parents decided that groundation and discipline was the way to basically scare me from doing it again until I was like out of the house and 18 and old enough.
Mhm.
And it was really traumatizing. And for a lot of people that go through something like that, ostracization from their families for being active sexually, it puts them down and it makes them uncomfortable to ever try it again. For me, I knew that was wrong. Even when I was 14 and 15, I was like, it's natural. It felt good. I don't feel any different. I don't feel less of a person. So I'm just going to choose not to believe that. So I ended up deviating from the church. I got really into sexual empowerment, and that was kind of my journey. But even now, my parents are going through like a nasty divorce right now. And my dad has been an alcoholic for years and years and years. And my mom has really started to blossom, especially just seeing me reject all of those early ideas about sex being bad, and being a powerful woman was not necessarily a bad thing, but it was an uncommon thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even her watching me now, I feel like she's growing so much into herself, and she's so fascinated by everything that I'm learning in my program. And she asked me all these questions, and even Layla said, strong, empowered people are contagious. That
Mm-hmm.
energy moves on to other people. And I've seen that with my mom even now already. And I think that's incredible.
That's so beautiful, Courtney. I'm just acknowledging you. It takes tremendous courage to be able to break out of the what you've been grow up believing, or being in that safety container with your parents who taught you like, hey, it gets to look this way, it has to be this way. But being willing and courageous enough to break away from that, like, oh my goodness, like kudos to you. And now inspiring and empowering your mom to also get curious about her sexuality, or like her life force, her energy within, that's just like coming fully alive in our bodies as a sexual being. And oh, there's so much to uncover here for all of us. Like, I mean, even for me personally, like this is new to me. Like this is a whole new journey for me that I'm just continuously starting to experience the magic that comes into our life when we reclaim this part of us. And what are you most excited about, Courtney, personally, for you to continue deepening your relationship with yourself in this space?
I've always deep wanting to grow. I think in like one of our pre-course calls, Layla was talking about people that are obsessed with growth, always finding that next thing. And for me, that's what I was. Is I was just always obsessed with finding ways to make myself feel better, and nothing ever worked. When I was going through my psychology courses, I really got into positive psychology, affirmations, gratitude work, whatever, even meditation. And until now, I tried so hard to make it work for me, and it just didn't.
Mhm.
And with this program, having a sense of community, a sense of sisterhood, and really tapping into things in my own sexuality that I don't need to create, it's
Mhm.
already there. Having that tangible thing, I think, is what I need in order to move to that next level that I've been searching for so long, in
Yeah.
terms of, spirituality, just being a woman that is comfortable in her own skin and comfortable in her own identity. I've always felt that I was too much for people.
Mhm.
I have a big personality, and I'm terrified that I step on other people's toes and I bring down their energy because of that. And even already in the last few days, I care less and less about that. It's, even Layla said, this worthiness of being chosen just resonated with me so much, because at the end of the day, why would I want to surround myself with people that can't handle my energy. I want to be around other people like the ones in this program that want to shine and want to celebrate and heal that sisterhood wound that I think might be out of line by saying this, but I always go as far as to say every single person in this program has felt at some point.
Mm. And you're speaking into something really powerful too, like the power of community, the power of connection, which is like so needed now, even more than ever before, when we can really so much lean on each other virtually, which is still even very powerful. Like right now, so I'm speaking to you, I can feel you, I can feel your essence, I can feel your energy, even though you're across the computer screen, but in like the quantum field, time and space doesn't matter. So having that access, having that person or even a community to lean on, we just feel so much more safe to express ourselves. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I really do want to share with the audience the dildo that came in, because I just posted this on the Facebook group, right? So like, just, okay, like even now I'm bringing this out, I feel so uncomfortable right now. Like, I feel so uncomfortable, but also so liberating to be holding this in my hands. But why I wanted to show this is because like something came to my mind as you were sharing, is like, the more we let go of these layers of what we feel, what society has taught us is the right answer, the more we peel back those layers, the more we tune inward to discover our own wisdom and our own uniqueness. And this came to mind because literally this goes inside of us, that we get to explore, that we get to discover like what's in there, what gives us pleasure, what turns us on, what makes us feel alive. And having a tool like this, it's important. So that's why I'm bringing this out. And
Now
Courtney,
that
you're
gets
gonna get,
me that gets me so excited too, because the jade egg, like what you
yeah,
were saying, that discovery aspect of it,
yeah.
people look at it and they're like, okay, what it goes inside of you, like, does it vibrate? Does it, like, what does it do? What does it do for
Mhm,
you? And
mhm.
having that level of intuition with yourself in your own body, it takes a glass dildo from just being a piece of glass that you shove up your, whatever,
Yeah.
to something you can utilize as a tool to explore yourself. And I actually, that's so funny. I forgot that my jade egg was sitting right next to me.
Oh my God, I'm still waiting for my J so I'm excited to see it. Have you tried it already, Courtney?
I am honestly terrified to try it without having like some kind of guidance. I will be
Mm-hmm.
completely honest. Uh,
Mm.
I just feel like I would sit and not know what to do unless
Yeah.
someone, all right, you can breathe now. It's you can move, you can breathe, you can play around, it's fine. Just be like,
Mm.
I don't know, it's gonna fall out. I don't know what to do with it.
So same with you. Yeah, I get to like have the support and the guidance to really, when we are going into something like this, I feel that it's very important to have the support to navigate us through in uncharted territory like this, and just feeling that sense of safety too, like knowing that someone have been walked the path before us, that it gives us a sense of reassurance that hey, this is okay, like it's okay to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one more toy. I mean, we can talk about it. The anal plug. It's so weird to even talk about this. I feel so weird.
Yeah.
Have you got yours already, Courtney?
So I actually got some stainless steel anal plugs for Christmas. And so
Mm,
I think it's close enough to
yeah.
being glass. I'm hoping that it will work. I doubt anybody's gonna say anything about it. Um, but I've played around with them a little bit. I definitely prefer them to like the traditional silicone
Mm,
version. I actually just yesterday went to Adam and Eve and I picked up a whole bunch of new stuff. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the testers at Adam and Eve, where you can get basically any lube or gel or cream, whatever it is, for free. You can just
what?
pick them out of all of these bins, and I went nuts, nuts. And I actually got these like cute. I posted these on the
I
Facebook
saw
page.
that.
These
Yeah.
like cute little jellies.
Oh
Oh my
my
god,
gosh.
so
They're
cute.
so cute. What do you do with them?
I was gonna use use them as decoration, honestly. I just like,
Oh,
I had to have them.
it's so cute.
Layla was saying having like vulvas in your sacred space, or, you know,
Oops.
statues of the goddess would
Yeah.
be helpful. And I was like, that's a start. I'll have a glittery pink dick hanging out in my room. That's fine.
I just love this that we are making it normal. Like we're normalizing the talk around sex and like getting to know our bodies, creating a permission for people to like know that it's totally okay to talk about this. And the more we do, the more we become empowered to it's like the way I look at it, Courtney, like with this conversation where we're going, it's that when we have a solid relationship with our body, that's also deeply connected to spirituality, because our body is where our spirit is accessing the physical experiences of life. So if we're not deeply connected to our senses, like sight, smell, taste, touch, like feel everything, I think I missed one there. But if we're disconnected from these senses and how our body feels, then we can fully like experience what we're here to experience on this physical realm. So, and sex is one of the highest state of pleasure that any of us can experience. So it only makes sense that we
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that everyone has this innate desire to
Mhm.
explore it. Everybody wants to test out the waters. And I mean, I don't know how much you've been telling like personal friends and family outside of the program about all of this, but I've been very open with friends and family. Like, I'm doing this program. I want to share it with you. Let's talk about it, whatever. And people that I never, ever in my wildest dreams expected to want to talk about sex and relationships
Mhm.
did like that whisper thing. They'd be like, like really? Like, you're learning about that? Like what, okay, so what do you think about this situation? Like, what do you think about this? People want to talk about it. People
Yeah.
want to explore and discover themselves. And I don't know if you've ever had that moment where you felt like you couldn't talk about something or do something, and you found one person that was totally fine already doing that thing, and you're like, wait, I have permission to do that now.
Mhm.
I have that permission to play and do what I want with my body and my sexuality. It's so rare to find people like that, and it magnetizes the people around you. It's a really incredible thing.
Oh, you know what, Courtney, you just empower me to also share with as many people in my life as possible, because I noticed I haven't, and to be honest, and that tells me that there's still a part of me that feels ashamed, that feels like maybe I'm not supposed to talk about it, so especially like with my family, Asian culture, very traditional, like we don't even talk about this, even though I feel a level of safety and like I tell my sisters everything, but then I still catch this layer of hesitation to send them a picture of my glass dildo that came in the mail today. But you empower me. You just gave me that permission to be like, it's okay. I get to be the torch bearer of like, you know, leading the trailblazer, like creating that safety and the permission in every aspect of my life, and not just with my audience, not just with like the work that I'm doing, but creating that deeper intimacy with people that knows me, people that are in my life, people that are in my family. So thanks for that, Courtney. And you're right, you're absolutely right that like sex and relationships and love are one of the most important like pillars of our life, yet we don't talk about it. We barely have been taught how to like have relationships with people, how to fall in love, how to build intimacy, how to have sex. Like that's not something that we really talk about, but it's such a key part of our lives. I think
Yeah,
it's
and
really
we're all
fascinating.
just expected to inherently know
Hmm.
how to do those things. I was never taught communication skills by my parents, by my friends, by past relationships. The partner that I am with now, I mean, God bless that man. He was like, you actually have to talk about things. You have to actually work through your emotions. You can't just shut down and hide out in a corner. And it's everybody has that. Even if you're not in a committed romantic or sexual relationship, just having friendships, you have to know how to talk to those people. But we were never taught how to do that properly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been such a powerful and beautiful and fun, juicy conversation. And this, I truly feel, has opened up so much space for anyone who do listen to this now or later, or the recording months and months later. Like, if you do stumble upon this conversation, trust that something in you opened up. You create an opening, you create a permission for yourself that even it's okay to lean in and get curious, right? Giving yourself the permission that I should look up a glass dildo and what does it do, or whatever it is that's for you. No, trust that you have created permission for yourself just by tuning in and listening. And I would empower you to also take one action today to further that permission for yourself, whatever that looks like. So, Courtney, as we're wrapping up, what are some last words you would like to share with our audience? Anything you feel inspired to share with them?
Ooh, I guess that wherever you are in your journey, know that it's not dirty. It's not repulsive. It can be. If you like that, it can be. But getting in touch with yourself and feeling that little spark and really holding it and understanding and accepting it is something so outside of just sex or relationships or love in and of itself. It's something completely different. And we should all experience that. And we should all have the curiosity to experience it.
I love it. I just got this visual, like, and then with the sex toys that we brought out, like this little fire that just got, that just got sparked within us, even though it may be really tiny right now, but we get to fan it. We get to like pour fuel into each other's fire so that it completely lights us up and become fully alive within our bodies. But it all starts with curiosity, the willingness to explore, and a wide open heart, wide open mind, and just go for it. So, with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us on this conversation today. I had a ton of fun, and I'm sure Courtney did as well. And if this really woke something up in you, please share with us. Reply back to this Facebook Live, or reply back to the email when I'm gonna send this out, and share with us what's coming up for you. And if you would like to be a guest on this show, also there's going to be a link for you to apply. And I would love to feature you and have more juicy conversations like this one. Until then, sending so much love from my heart to you. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.